Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to JWF Defiance. I am your host, Scotty Moore, joined once again by the owner of the JWF. It's Captain Tibbs, because as you can see in the ring right there, my normal commentary partner, Blake Tanner, is fighting in this epic Rumble match to determine who will win and get the coveted spot of number 30 in this year's Regal Rumble. And Malcolm Belmont just low bridged, and the first eliminated, I'm sorry Tibbs to keep talking over you, is Robert Hill.
What? I wasn't even paying attention. I was thinking of something clever to say. Sammy Sin's out too.
The JWF Tag Team Champion, or at least one half of them eliminated. That is two very big hitters eliminated quickly. And I don't know if you saw last week's episode, Robert Hill already had a spot of bother when it came to the man known as Griffin Clouds. Tibbs, I gotta say, the former champion has not been looking good lately.
Well, I know that is just depressing to hear. It's almost like he's in an environment where he's not gonna shine anymore. But I can't say anything about that. I don't have a dog in this fight anymore. I'm just old Tibbs. Tibbs, the guy that gets paraded out every week. Just to let you know that he's still alive.
Big slam from the JWF to my broadcast partner. What were you saying, Tim? I'm sorry, I was paying attention to the action. That's what we do on this show. Anyways, big slam takes Blake Tanner to the mat. And like I said, the winner of this match earns the spot number 30 in the Regal Rumble. And I think this year, more than anything, that spot is going to be exclusive. And it's going to be very, very important, because this is going to be one of the most loaded Rumbles we have ever had in company history. Not only JWF talent, but also the former JXT talent. All of them coming together in the ring. It is going to be an absolutely stacked show. And having to fight, the more you have to fight, the less likely you're going to win. And that number 30 spot guarantees your biggest opportunity at victory.
Well, of course it does. We always had a great way to determine number 30, but I guess we're just doing this thing now. This thing that you guys came up with, the whatever the fuck.
A battle royal?
Yeah.
It's a thing. That's
never heard of it.
Tibbs, it's just like a Rumble, but smaller.
You can make them smaller.
Yeah, only like 8 guys. It makes it a lot easier.
It sounds like it'd be a lot quicker.
Huh. I mean, at the end of the day, if you have a slew of talented individuals on your roster and you want to weed out the wheat from the chaff, or you want to figure out who is the top dog in a big group, a match like this, or of course the more deadly variant in the Cananza, is a quick way to do it, as Shitty Terry eliminating Griffin Clouds.
It does seem like we are starting to get down to the last few here.
That is right. I mean, a lot of these men actually victorious on last week's episode of Defiance as well. Blake Tanner with a victory over Chuck Tibbs. Shitty Terry with his victory. Oh, and then a Blake out to the Defiant champion, AJ Steele, as Malcolm Belmont gets tossed out of the ring. They are dropping like proverbial flies, Tibbs.
Absolutely, and now it looks like, it's like AJ Steele, Blake Tanner, Shitty Terry, the JWF. One of these 4 men is going to be number 30.
That is right. Now, Blake Tanner showing the strength. I don't know if you noticed that AJ Steele was actually setting up for that steel beam elbow strike. Blake Tanner wisely avoiding it, but now is going toe-to-toe with the JWF. I mean, a few weeks ago, those 2 men were teaming up. But when it comes to the Regal Rumble, there are no friends. There are no allies. What a slam.
And you know when you're in the ring against somebody, it doesn't matter if it's your best friend or worst enemy, you're gonna have to fight to win.
That is right. Ooh, went for the shotgun splash as the JWF. Blake Tanner avoiding it as AJ Steele and Shitty Terry come to blows. Big DD Terry takes him down. And now what is the JWF thinking? Some kind of pump handle slam. Wait a minute. No. Oh my God.
Well,
that is worse than being tossed off the top turnbuckle. The JWF is taller than the top turnbuckle. That was a vicious fall my commentary partner just took. And now AJ Steele going to work on Shitty Terry, but Shitty reverses.
Uh-oh.
And then, oh my God, the strength of the man with the body of steel, just being able to pluck up Shitty Terry and drop him with that power bomb.
Think about it, Scotty. So, well, you may possibly be seeing AJ Styles as the Defiant champion winner of the Regal Rumble.
That is right. Now, wait a minute. JWF finally back to his feet. And then, oh my God, hit a lariat on Terry. And then a lariat taking out the Defiant champion. Oh, Shitty Terry reverses. Big clothesline of his own. And we are down to the final two. The JWF, the man who, ironically enough, made his debut for this company last year, and I believe number 28 in the Regal Rumble, may just get the same courtesy extended another year, but not if Shitty Terry has anything to say about it. Shitstorm, but he is not done. He's not done. 2 in a row.
Oh, double shitstorms. That's it. It's shit or duck.
That is right, shit or get off the pot. But wait a minute, JWF with one big headbutt takes him back, gets him dazed and confused, puts him on the ropes. What's Jeb thinking here? Oh, and look at this, just trying to struggle, but Shitty Terry is holding on with all of his might, but not if JWF has anything to say about it.
Oh, there he is.
That is right, Tibbs, the man who is going to be entering the Regal Rumble at number 30, last year's King of the Steel City, a position that usually earns you a title opportunity, something that, due to all the chaos, JWF never really got. The man may earn himself a double opportunity at the end of the day if he can get that win at the Regal Rumble.
It is very true. That is what opportunity like this is created for.
That is right, and there he is standing tall, the Duke One. A man who carried JXT on his back, the only Triple Crown champion in that company's history. And he's looking to make history again at the Regal Rumble. But we now move on to our next match of the evening. And our first time getting to see this man, the former JXT champion and an undefeated beast in the form of Mark Plays. Blake Tanner, welcome back to the booth.
Oh, yeah, Tibbs slipped out as soon as I started walking this way. Hey, back hurts.
You fell a lot.
Yeah, Jeb is at least 7 foot tall. I was on his shoulders, fell from the 7 foot plus however tall the ring is. Face hit.
That is right.
Ground.
And now we are, this match, of course, is going to be part of our Block B of the J1 tournament. As this man, Chuck Gibbons, one of the greatest JXT champions of all time, is taking on Mark Plays. And you gotta think, Chuck is coming into this match with a grudge because his historic championship reign was ended by none other than that man, Mark Plays.
I think Chuck is really wanting to get his win back from old Marky here.
I mean, not only that, I mean, it is almost a year to the day that these two are facing off in this historic J1 tournament. Of course, as I stated last week, Block A is going to be nothing but former JWF champions. Block B, nothing but former JXT champions. And in my opinion, Block B is the one you need to look out for because we have had all sorts of different JXT champions throughout the years. We've had Demons, we've had One-Winged Angels, we've had all sorts of different champs, and that's going to make for some interesting matchups. Wait a minute. Oh, Mark Blaze not even giving Gibbons the courtesy of that pinfall.
And somehow almost more dangerous than all the Demons and Angels and the Barack Obamas of the world
Yes.
is just this gamer.
Honestly, both of these men, at the end of the day, let's not forget Chuck Gibbons once feuded with Houston Longhorn, another former JXT champion, over who the greatest JXT champion was. Gibbons came out successful, but that was before Mark Plays came into play. Oh, wait a minute, rolls him up, 1, 2. Oh, wait, no, Gibbons turns it around, 1. Oh, kick it out, wait, no, turns it around, 1. Kick out.
Oh, I love this flippy kind of pinfall stuff.
That is right. I mean, these two men are more known for their brutalistic techniques. Of course, we know Chuck Gibbons liking to employ the Olympic slam. And of course, this series of German suplexes that he likes to take his opponent down to the mat. You don't really see a lot of big technical acumen. But as those roll-ups proved, these men do have a lot more up their sleeve than we ever could have suspected during JXT. Falls into the pin. It's Gibbons. 1. Kick out as Mark plays.
This is the time to grow and evolve. Just as the show has changed, just as we have all of these new rules, this new format, so too must our performers.
Oh, but that Olympic slam stays the same. 1, 2, oh! Mark plays with a last-minute kick out. And of course, last week we saw Griffin Clouds with that big upset over Robert Hill. Could we see another upset this week when Mark plays?
It is possible. We don't know what Mark Plays' trajectory is going to be like now. Much like we did for Robert Hill, much like anybody who is coming off of a big win streak.
Oh, wait, hold on. It's the most electrifying move in gaming entertainment. The Gamer's elbow takes him to the mat. Drops him down. 1, 2. I don't know if you're noticing that. Look at Chuck Gibbons' body. Chuck Gibbons did not just kick out. That was off of instinct. His body froze as soon as that shoulder went off the mat.
Basically ragdolled as soon as he was able to kick out. It's like he used so much energy to do that before. He wasn't even awake.
That is right. That was off of pure instinct. Oh, and then gets shoved off to the outside, and now Mark Plays going to a place we don't usually see him. The top rope. What is the gamer's gamer thinking? Oh! Went for the double axe handle off the top rope, but Gibbons avoided, and Mark's knees just collided with the ground.
Yeah, that doesn't look like it's gonna do it there, Mark. Maybe some things aren't worth trying.
That is right, but now the was going for the German suplexes. Mark avoids before just plucking him up and going to work on Gibbons' knees. And now Chuck Gibbons is unfortunately in a place to receive the kill steal. The former up, down, down, one of the most dangerous maneuvers I have ever had. The unfortunate courtesy of taking goes for the pin. 1, 2, 3.
Chuck Gibbons.
I mean, let's not forget last year, after Chuck Gibbons lost his JXT championship, there was no whining, there was no complaining. He immediately made his debut for JWF in the Regal Rumble match. Immediately went on to be in the Expiration Chamber match, one of the most brutal matches in this company's history. Goes for the pinfall, and look at that. Chuck Gibbons not afraid to take a few shortcuts, putting those feet up on the ropes. But as I was saying, Gibbons came to the main roster and immediately within a few months was fighting for the championship on a pay-per-view.
Gibbons is one of those people that proves you get off the horse, you get right the fuck back up on it again, and you keep riding until you win a championship.
God, got weirdly aggressive halfway through it.
I feel like that's the motivational style of Chuck Gibbons, just with a bit of a New York accent.
I just love this. Oh wait, another spine buster. The man known as Chuck Gibbons has just eaten so much abuse, but wait a minute. Oh, European uppercut sends Mark Plays back and then belly-to-belly suplex. Tosses him to the center of the ring, and now, Gibbons going to the top rope. We have seen him use this maneuver before. You don't think that old man can fly, but he hits the man's moonsault.
Then he gets so much air.
It is a thing of literal beauty. I audibly gasped when I saw it the first time. And then, goes for the clothesline in the corner is Mark Plays, but instead eats an Olympic slam for his troubles. 1, 2, 3.
It's a new dawn, it's a new day.
That is right. Chuck Gibbons finally avenging that loss to Mark Plays a year ago. one of the biggest embarrassments of Chuck Gibbons' career. He is now avenged, and he has earned himself 2 points in the J1 tournament. A big advantage moving forward.
No more gods or kings or winning streaks. This is JWF Defiance.
That is right, and the man's man picking up a big victory tonight. And you know Chuck Gibbons has got to be happy, and there are going to be some beers with the Wild-Eyed Southern Boys tonight celebrating this epic victory. But now we move on to our next match. Another J1 tournament matchup as our captain's champion, Crush Atlas, also one of the other few people to hold a victory over Mark Plays, marches to the ring, hoping to follow up on Chuck Gibbons' victory, but he's got I will say, a big challenge ahead of him. A big challenge.
Oh, that was supposed to be leading me.
It's a big challenge. In the form of Big Cyrus Krane, formerly the Chonk in JXT. You can see him coming down to the ring with his handler, his asshole, in the form of Lawrence Whitney.
Oh, you really hate Lawrence Whitney, don't you?
I mean, at this point, it feels like he won't stop fucking with me. I mean, he's currently fucking with you, with Gozzie, but you're my best friend, so that's still fucking with me. Pisses me off.
I guess so. I don't really take it seriously as I should most of the time.
Well, it is, of course, what led to our main event of the evening. Of course, Gozzie leading a vicious beatdown on yourself, which I think is the only reason you didn't walk out of that Rumble victorious earlier. And, of course, right before he was gonna snap that arm, using that maneuver that has literally taken me out of action for months, the man known as Funky Flossie came back, made the save.
Of all people, I'm still surprised.
Yeah, the guy that you, I believe, stomped his hand until it was broken.
There weren't any spots in the tournament. Had to make a spot in the tournament. I'm sorry.
You still didn't win it. Jeb did.
I got close.
I got close. Going for the pinfall is Big Cyrus. One kick out is Crush Atlas. And this one is, I feel like a little bit more of a dream match when it comes to the world of JXT. I apologize. Because with, like I said, with Chuck Gibbons and Mark Plays, that's something we have seen before. Crush Atlas and Big Cyrus have never been on the same roster. And look at this bastion just getting up on the apron. But oh my God, look at the strength of Cyrus. He is not done. What a series of maneuvers!
That is something that we have to always remind, we've got to remind you just how dominant Big Cyrus was in his original JXT days. He had a hell of a run back then.
That is right. Now, Cyrus picking him back up, but eats a big strike to the gut and then a massive lariat. And now the captain's champion going to work on Big Cyrus because he's got him up. And he's gonna drop him down because Big Cyrus, get to the chopper. 1, 2, oh, last minute kick out from Big Cyrus. And that was another one of those reflexive kick outs. You can see the body, or the mind might not have been willing. The body was the only thing that carried him through on it.
But it looks like Cyrus on some level was not ready to get to that chopper.
That is right, and not only that, look, oh, hey, cool work, Lawrence. Just, oh my God!
Oh, fuck!
That is the type of bastardism that Lawrence Whitney employs, because at the end of the day, yes, there's a steel chair in the ring, and unfortunately, what the hell is he thinking now? No!
Oh!
Big Cyrus using Crush's own maneuver against him too! No! Last minute kick out.
Crush Atlas is not gonna go down to his own move onto a steel chair even.
That is right. And now Tommy finally taking that steel chair out of the ring, and that is That is a maneuver that I know Lawrence Whitney likes to employ. That steel chair was not utilized by an opponent. There cannot be a DQ, unfortunately, because no one technically wielded it. But it certainly helped Big Cyrus get one hell of an advantage, but Crush Atlas is fighting back.
Yes, it is seriously one of those, if I can't hit you with the chair situations, I will hit the chair with you.
Exactly, and now you can see... let me tell you something. I think one of the biggest things Big Cyrus is dealing with right now has to be a little bit of jealousy. One of his biggest feuds starting out in this company was against myself for the Captain's Championship. And now he sees this man doing a running man in front of him to intimidate him in the form of Crush Atlas. And you gotta think he feels like maybe the line was skipped. That Crush Atlas got the opportunities before he could, but in my opinion, he should have fucking pinned me when he could then. Picks him up,
Cyrus, I mean, that's... You gotta acknowledge your mistakes and where you messed up in life, and until you do that, you're just gonna be sent to the chopper a lot.
That is right, but wait a minute. I think he was trying to set up for that spear, but instead... Oh, wait. Oh, avoids it. And then... plucks him out of midair. Could we see it? Slams him down. Cyrus, salt, straight down onto the mat. 1, 2, 2 3/4 before Crush could kick out. And let me tell you something, the Captain's Champion has been through literal hell tonight.
I am surprised, like the amount that he has been, that Big Cyrus has been focusing on Crush's chest, that he just hasn't caved in yet. He hasn't had a broken rib or punctured lung.
He's got him up again. Oh, might have been trying to set up for that big gorilla press slam again, but instead Crush Atlas stops him at the pass and says, let me give you a new direction. Get to the chopper. Ooh. Goes for the pinfall off of it. 1, 2, 3. And that, in my opinion, was the first real test of Crush Atlas we have seen. We've seen him fight the triple threats. We've seen him go against Mark Plays, and let me tell you something, I don't think anyone's ever brought it to him like Big Cyrus, and you can see a show of respect, and Cyrus accepts.
You look at that. I would not have expected that from Big Cyrus. It does not look like Lawrence Whitney is happy.
I don't think Lawrence Whitney is going to be happy about that, seeing his own man raise the hand of the victor. But now we are moving on to our first women's match in Defiance history. And it is only appropriate that it features this woman, Valkyrie, a woman who has made history through her entire tenure here in this company. She held the first ever main event in Wrestlepalooza history, women's main event, pardon me, in Wrestlepalooza history. First ever JWF women's champion, but there's one woman who's looking to put an end to all that, and it is this woman, the first ever women's cash in the bag holder. It's Karen fucking Busch.
Karen Busch. How did she return? How did she return with a new haircut and everything after everything we tried?
Oh, and look at that. The champ upset that Karen did not accept that handshake. Instead just delivers a big crack across the jaw and then a massive clothesline to follow it up. At the end of the day, the champion is also aware Karen has that cash in the bag briefcase. That means at any opportunity, Valkyrie could be laid up in a hospital bed with a broken leg. If Karen Busch can get a referee there and set up the match with that briefcase, she could become the champion immediately. So you gotta think
You saw the stare down at the very beginning of this match after Val cold cocked her. It was like Karen was in disbelief, and neither of them wanted to make the first move.
Well, not only that, you got to think Val tonight is trying to test herself against Karen. She's going to try to push herself to her limit, get exhausted, because this is not a title match. But if Val can get to that limit, get to that pure exhaustion level that a woman like Karen Busch would use to cash in that briefcase, Val's going to be a little bit more aware of what to do if/when that situation does come.
Exactly. Val always trying to test her limits, always seeing just how far she can go. She's been known to be an amazingly resilient competitor as well. So the fact that she wants to continue to improve her endurance, her strength, her pain tolerance even.
That is right. And let me tell you something, she is going to have a big pain tolerance going up against the #1 contender, Ayanna, at the Regal Rumble. I mean, last year, we're seeing a lot of rematches lately. I mean, I was talking earlier about Big Cyrus and myself last year. We're going to be talking about the fact that Ayanna was Val Curry's first test as women's champion. And for that was more of a matter of pride. That was a matter of respect. Val Curry trying to prove she deserves this top spot. But now the roles have almost seemed to have been reversed, with Ayanna trying to prove that she deserves the main event spot that she held for so long in JXT again.
Yes, and while I completely understand Ayanna's position, times have changed, as you can very well see.
Yeah, just ask Mark Plays or Robert Hill about how much the times have changed in this company, as Val plucks her back up and then, might have been going for the spear, but instead, drop toe hold from Karen Busch, takes the champ down before nailing her with that big spine buster. This has been the night of spine busters here. And unfortunately, Val Curry is directly in position for one of the most dangerous maneuvers we have ever seen. The mini driver, and drops her straight down onto her cranium. Goes for the pinfall. Tommy gets in position 1, 2, 2 3/4. And look at that. Karen Busch immediately getting to her feet and arguing with the referee. Because believe me, not many people are able to even get a shoulder moving after a mini driver, let alone kick out.
Exactly. That mini driver maneuver, it really just busts your face into the mat. It breaks your nose. It's injures your face bones.
It hurts your face bones, yeah.
I couldn't think of what you call face bones.
Oh, but now this is gonna hurt even more because, nails her with the spear. Goes for the pin, but Karen Busch immediately grabbing the ropes. And look at Val, you can see the fury growing on her face. That's something she should have seen. She should have carried her away from those ropes, but you can see Val Curry might have been getting carried away in the moment. And that is what led to Karen being able to get out of one of her most deadly maneuvers that easily.
Yes, and I mean, you can see that the momentum of Val's spear did carry Karen right into reach of the ropes. I mean, all she had to do is reach out and grab it. I don't even know if it was conscious. Her arm might have flailed around until it found the rope.
That is right, and now, I guess taking a page out of Gibbons' book, put the feet on the ropes, and it nearly earned her a victory.
But not close enough.
That is right, and then a beautiful neck breaker dropping the women's champion to the mat. And unfortunately, she might have Karen on the ropes, but I feel like Val Curry is the one literally in the ropes. She almost seems flustered to be coming back to this rivalry against Karen Busch, and also probably flustered considering she has Ayanna on the horizon.
Yes, exactly. If Val can't prove herself against Karen Busch tonight, I mean, people are going to start to wonder what hope would she have against fighting this new Ayanna.
That is right. Now dragging her back to the ring is Karen Busch, just draping her on the inside. But look at that, Val immediately getting back to her feet. You know, Karen likes to employ that guillotine leg drop when her opponent is downed on the apron like that. Val immediately evaded it, but unfortunately it put her right in the path of a spine buster. Goes for the pinfall. 1, 2, 2 3/4. Last minute kick out from Val Curry. I don't know if you noticed that Karen Busch was wise and did something Val didn't think to do. She dragged her away from the ropes. But unfortunately now a Momoan punch levels her. 1, 2, 3. And it looks like that desperation Momoan punch was a last-minute save that Val Curry desperately needed, and luckily she knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, not for nothing, you can usually see the Momoan punch coming, even if you can dodge it or not. But when it comes out of nowhere like that, it is just being sucker punched times 10.
That is right. That is the one thing Valkyrie has, I will say, even over her father, Momoa, a man who I have exchanged some words with recently, is the fact that Momoa does like to set up his big moves. He almost telegraphs them in certain cases. With Val, she has made more of a career out of focusing on the speed than the power, on being able to hit these moves out of nowhere, and that's what led to her success. And that's the interesting thing about Valkyrie, is being able to take the same moveset that her father used to success and making it her own by using it her own way. And let me tell you something, that is why Valkyrie is one of the biggest challenges this company has.
Have to agree with you right there.
But now this fuck. A man who is, as I stated earlier, been a bit of a sticking in my craw ever since he has debuted for this company. His first pay-per-view match, Summerfest, he broke my damn arm. He fought you. He's still trying to fight you. In my opinion, if there's one man who I would consider the bane of the main event, it is this man, the Nightmare Gozzie.
So what you're saying is we're gonna have to drain the main bane.
No, I need you to not. I need you to not.
Oh. Well, we gotta get rid of this bane somehow, and I don't know any other way to get rid of Gozzie.
But let me tell you something, buddy. That is some music I like to hear. Because in my opinion, one of my favorite things when I get into a wrestling ring is a fight. And last year, this man, Funky Flossie, stood toe-to-toe with me. And look, ego aside, Funky Flossie was not exactly one to dabble with the main eventers. Once again, ego aside, but I am a former champion. And he stood against me, challenged me to a match that is basically mine at this point in the Nautical Rules match. And I threw everything I had at him, and he still managed to overcome it all, throw me through a flaming table, and get that victory. And that is why I think Gozzie is in danger tonight, because Funky Flossie likes to come out to the ring. He likes to have fun, but when he needs to turn it on, I, more than anybody, can say he 100% can do that.
I mean, you are right in that, Scotty. Like, Funky Flossie has come out and delivered some amazing performances. I think the more he gets out of his head, the more he is able to focus. He can focus on what's going on in the ring and just how he can defeat an opponent, which is what you're gonna need for an opponent like Gozzie. Opponent like Gozzie, who is very cerebral, who is very vicious in his own way. Somebody who will not hesitate to do horrible things to you, and so you, as his opponent, needs to not hesitate with what you're willing to do to him.
That is right. I won't hesitate, bitch. Big Russian the funky leg sweep, taking Gozzie down, getting him back to his feet, and this is also another epic rematch. Last year's Wrestlepalooza, these men went toe-to-toe, but not this reinvigorated Funky, who just hits those big strikes and then a massive European uppercut, sending Gozzie into the corner.
Funky Flossie, he has come out hot and ready to fight, especially after helping basically embarrass Gozzie last week.
That is right. And then picks him back up, and then, oh no, Gozzie ducks behind at the last minute. Oh, I thought might have been setting up for that bloody eagle maneuver he likes to employ, but instead, oh, it's a European uppercut flying through the air. That is a maneuver that I believe my co-commentator likes to employ usually.
Yeah, that was a fine one. That was all right.
Might have been a little
you
bit
really
of a
gotta
shock.
go like a missile, though.
That is right. Now Funky's down. Gozzie going to that top rope. What is the Nightmare thinking here? Could we see the Goz bomb? Yes! Nails it. Goes for the pinfall. 1, 2. Oh, last minute kick out from Funky Flossie.
Like I said, Gozzie, he's not gonna hesitate to do crazy things like the Goz bomb. He's not gonna hesitate to try to break your arm in two, to just send you up into the air and let your face come crashing down onto the mat. He'll break your glasses.
And you also have to consider this. Gozzie now finds himself essentially as the de facto leader of a group that I may not enjoy personally, but I cannot disagree with how dangerous they are in the form of Demon Inc. Oh, but Gozzie gets dropped down onto his face. But like I was saying, that means Gozzie is no longer a lone wolf, as it were. Gozzie is sitting under the learning tree of the JWF Tag Team Champions under Big Cyrus Krane, the conniving Lawrence Whitney. Gozzie has a lot more support behind him, and I think that might prove to be a big danger to Funky.
Yes, that is the thing about Gozzie so far. So far, he's gone it alone, basically. He has not really had anybody else to rely on for, well over a year now.
That is right. But, the Funky Kong levels him. Big, sick kick straight to the face. And drags him away from those ropes, learning from the women's champion mistake in the last match. 2 3/4 Gozzie kicking out, and at this point these two men have put each other through such paces that I think the next big move is going to be what ends this.
Yes, it is very likely that you can start to see them slow down. They're at the
Bloody Eagle. Unfortunately, I don't know if Gozzie can hear me on commentary, but he goes for the pin. 1 2 3.
Oh man.
A last-second adjustment from Gozzie, a last-second opportunity to hit that Bloody Eagle, and he took it, and that is why the Nightmare remains victorious. And I think that means Funky Flossie's battle might be over, but I think one of these men at this booth still have a fight to continue. Well, what the hell is he doing now?
No, that's ridiculous. Fucking Gozzie.
Hold on, you did attack Chuck Tibbs with a chair last week. You can't be
I let the passion overcome me for that.
Well, who knows what's going to happen next between Blake Tanner and Gozzie. In order to find out, you'll have to tune in to JWF Ignition. But until next time, he's been Blake Tanner. I've been Scotty Moore. We have been the BS. And this is Defiance.